Hello, all of you delightful beings out there, and welcome to the stream. I am Razim, and this is Lost in Chaos Scar, Chapter 3, Episode 31, Gullykin. Hopefully for real this time. This is one of our Pokemon tabletop RPG campaigns being run with our custom Scar system, or stories and creatures in alternate realities. This system is available for open playtest on our Discord as well as itch.io, so go take a look at it and let us know what you think. We are joined today by Conrad working on some 3D art, so you'll see that in a minute. After the beginning art scroll is finished. Otherwise, we're going to get started with introductions, starting with Enja.
Hello and good day, everyone. I will be your storyteller for this evening, Enja Lumareus. I play the allies, I play the enemies, and I orchestrate all manner of events that will be following our players today, starting with Rex Strider.
Hi, I am the UX Strider. I will be playing Chomper, a empathetic little dude, fire water type, Fue Crocodile hybrid. I'm going to pass it off to Raharu.
Hey there, everyone. I'm Raharu, and I'll be playing Paz, the solo water type Sobel. Wondering what is going to happen today. How do you, Gimund?
Hi, I'm Gimund, and I'm playing Pyroclast, the sometimes ghost, sometimes dark, fire Charmeleon. Currently, he is still Ghost Fire. On to the scruff.
Hello, I am actually Rob. I shall be playing Scruff, the ground ice type Swiner. Onto the Zim.
Hello everybody, I am Razim, and I am playing as Squirrel, the dragon fighting type Riolu, an embodiment of ADHD. Off to you, Tal.
Hello, I'm Tadiris, and I'll be playing Vane, the dark flying type Murkrow.
And for the recap, go for it, Rex.
Oh boy, so there was a lot of talking on the last one. I know with Chomper, he went around talking with multiple people, trying to basically kind of figure out his feelings and if it was okay to be selfish, TLDR. That was the biggest thing for him. And also just being generally kind of worried about the things that happened in the past episode, his friends getting along, what he's going to say to Squirrel, all this good stuff that will be probably resolved in this episode. But other than that, I'm going to pass it off to somebody else as the ghost is Dono. Bye!
Gimund _ tipped $10. Tradition from Gregor.
Thank you for that tip, Gimund. That is the first tier of the tip goal completed.
But yes, Chomper was thinking a lot about what Paz said to him in regards to him not being with his team during a very nice moment and focusing on Squirrel, while Chomper was very much trying to basically check on Squirrel as he was leaving the party due to the twins being a concern and just generally not feeling part of the team. But that is Chomper's current area where he's at right now. He actually went back over to where Squirrel is at to talk with Squirrel after talking with a certain nine-tailed fox and getting a very good advice. So I'm going to go ahead and get a little tag in. Enja, any other big moments you want to throw out there?
Large moments?
Yes. I know Squirrel had a lot of moments where he was actually learning his craft. He went back to the school, and he actually got his emblem done.
Well, the leaders of Team Chaos and Team Darklight were called in by Tyranio to discuss the criminal that they had captured.
Yeah.
Yep, they are currently over in Hama.
Yes, because apparently the new guild master Zero has instated a new policy on how to deal with murderers and attempted murderers. In that he doesn't really believe in jailing them. They will be assessed. If they can be rehabilitated, they will, and if they cannot, they will die.
Ooh. And I do recall Pyro having a conversation, I believe it was last episode, with Squirrel in regards to needing help for getting his memories. Well, a lot of things to do with a certain robot, right?
It was more requesting help with the Alex situation.
Ah, yes.
And basically telling Squirrel about Apollo and kind of that Bean is actually a part of that. Probably not in the best way to Squirrel for him to understand it, but
Yeah, it was very confusing and wasn't really understood very well, if I recall right. But Pyro's main thing was to go and talk with Team Chaos to try to get them to join, correct? And Chomper did mention it to Vane and Kaza, as well had a little conversation with Scruff as well. Scruff had not gotten any kind of hangover whatsoever during that big drinking part, by the way. Recall that being a thing. And they also, Paz and Scruff had a conversation as well. You want to elaborate on that? Was anything super important said during that?
I think it's Wade at the moment, isn't it?
Oh yeah. Well, no, yeah.
Yeah, it is Wade.
It's Wade, yeah.
Yeah. Wade realized just how out of touch Scruff is.
He also realized that he's blind.
Not fully blind.
Well, technically speaking, you're legally considered blind even if you still have some sight.
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
Scruff
I mean,
was asked how Wade's bow tie looked on him, and commented that the yellow blob did look quite pretty.
It was extra funny because it's orange.
That was even better. Yeah, I realised that Scruff's vision is not actually that great, and Scruff just assumed that this was the normal because he has an excellent sense of smell and can tremor sense, and he figured, oh yeah, my sight's bad, so that must be counterbalancing it, right? No, that is not what's going on. He's supposed to have good vision, he does not.
Jeez. Well, I think that's close to it. A lot of thing with Chomper was a lot of talking with I keep saying Kaza Amari, and as well as certain Ninetales, China. Is that right, China? God, the names. But yeah, basically kind of a lot of lead up and concern over the last couple episodes, and kind of building up to talking with Squirrel, which did not get to last episode, so not too much to say. We'll see you in this episode. No, that's it. Off to you, Engine, unless there's anything else.
Nope. So, whom shall we be starting with? I'm thinking either Wade or Vane.
I mean, I know Chomper had a thing he wanted to do that we kind of held off last time.
By all means, go ahead.
Oh boy, oh boy. Well, in that case.
Alright, switching to boss fight music now.
Yeah, switching to very sad. Chomper's going to be depressed music now.
Oh
The
my.
final boss fight of Lick is consistently social interaction.
Oh yeah, this is gonna be wonderful. I can't wait.
Don't worry, if you need to diffuse all tension, Gregor is not too far away.
Where's that really sad music from Pokemon Mystery Dungeon? There we
Which
go.
Which one? I'm pretty sure there's several.
Well, the one that one person dies.
Which one? There's several.
No,
I think he's referring to the one that Enja had me play when Squirrel was leaving.
Yeah, that one.
Ah.
Let's get this over with. Let's do this. Ain't no way to get it done than to get it done. Here we go. Whee! All right. So Chomper is last time we checked, which Squirrel. They were walking from the school after the emblem, right? Not sure where they were going. To be honest with you, I know they were leaving together. But I'm gonna say Chomper would approach Squirrel and simply just ask, like, "Hey, Squirrel, do you have a moment to talk with me about stuff since you're done?"
Sure.
Okay. Can we go to like the room or somewhere where it's a little private? Don't want, distractions.
Sure.
Okay. That's Chomper.
Am I in trouble again?
No, not at all. I actually just have a bit on my mind. I really wanted to talk to you about it. All right, they'll say they get there, I suppose. They're in the room. And Chomper's going to kind of go up. They're looking a little bit kind of like you can tell they had a lot on their mind. They've been building up to this. They're a little blushy too. And they go up and they start talking. So, as Chomper's filling with their notes, I want to make sure you understand what I say because I don't want you to confuse anything. So to start, I really care about you and I want to be close. So I'm gonna start with that. And I tried to get it down in numbers, but I don't think I should say a number. But can I just say a rough like, let's see, 4 things I want to say, if that's okay, in general.
Sure.
All right. Well, to start with, out of character, boss music started playing. Wonderful. Love it. In character. All right. Well, I think I should really start by saying this because it's not fair for me to ask a question without letting you know. Squirrel, I really, really care about you. And I care about you so much that when I say I love you, I'm actually not sure what love is anymore because it seems different when it's with you. It feels more like romantic, I guess. It's hard for me to understand, but I know I really care about you and I really love that kiss you gave me, and when I'm with you, I feel like I can be more myself. And I see what you do, I see how much you grow and how much you try to just do your best. And I love that about you. It just makes me happy. And I want to be with you more and be closer. And I'm saying that because, well, after that kiss, I don't know where we are. What are we? Are we boyfriends? Did you like it? Was it awkward? I just don't know where we're at or how you feel. We haven't had a chance to really talk.
Thanks, Mala. You got rid of the temptation to troll, thanks. Squirrel is going to be shuffling awkwardly. Just kind of looking all over the place, everywhere except for Chomper. I mean, yeah, it was nice.
Okay. I thought it was nice
get dance
too,
on the head of a
as
pin
well.
as well.
Very nice. Would you say we're closer, like boyfriends now, or you did like it, right? And Chomper's like kind of wagging a little slowly at least that hearing that Squirrel liked it.
Oh,
God, the temptation.
The reason
Just
I told
remember,
you,
Mala wanted you to do it.
the reason I told you I care about you like that, and that I don't know how love is now, even when I'm thinking of you, is because I can kind of understand how it could be confusing. And heck, I'm getting back my memories, so understanding what a boyfriend is and really understanding love is, it's hard sometimes. So I don't know how you feel or what you think about things. So thought I'd just ask you.
I. Uh. Yes.
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 Yes. We're boyfriends.
He is very much very much looking uncertain on all of this, but he nods.
Okay. Well, if you feel like yes enough to say yes, then that's yay. But do take your time with it, because I know it can be really confusing and hard to understand and stuff. So don't worry if you're still understanding this. I just definitely want to be closer to you. I want you to know that I want to be your boyfriend. Okay, well, I guess on to the next one then. So, well, now that it's official and we're boyfriends, I need to make sure I am honest with you about certain things that happen with other people, which has happened really fast. And, well, as you know, we are understanding things as it goes. And, well, you remember Furry, right?
Yes.
Are you two still good? I know you didn't really care too much last time I asked you about when he kind of went a bit far with the training and, bit you.
Yeah.
Okay, making sure. I was kind of worried when that happened, and I was, I didn't know how he was, but talking with him, he seemed like he feels bad. He felt bad about it, and he's been, he's been changing. It looks like he's pretty nice. Also, I realized that those fire kisses were kind of really nice in other ways, and I didn't understand so much at the time. But yeah, I think I'd like to talk with him, be friends with him more. Um, and I kind of feel like being closer to him too, if it's possible. If you're okay with it. He sounds like he would like to be closer with you too. I don't know how this usually works, but if you're okay with it, I would like to be really close friends. Maybe in boyfriends with him too. I don't know if that's odd or anything, but I think that'd be nice. They seem friendly.
Squirrel just has a very blank expression at that. And is not responding.
I know that's odd to say. That's why I brought it up. I think I asked them first how, before anything, I need to talk with you first. And also, yeah, if you're not, okay with it, I am totally fine not, pushing for that any further. I really want to focus on you. This has all happened really fast, and yeah, I really like them as well, but I don't really talk to them too much, and I would have to get to know them first, and I would like you both to actually be friends too.
Squirrel is still not responding.
Is more than one boyfriend kind of weird or something? Sorry to use that word.
I
You
mean,
understand?
as a reminder, they were fine with Squirrel too if he wanted to be part of it.
They did say that. Well, with Faragon, he has a boyfriend already. It seems, and they sounded like they were okay with us being good friends too. I think it's just being close. But I can understand if this is a lot. I can just kind of wait. I just want to let you know about it, that I talked with them and they were interested.
Dial-up noises.
Proper waves a hand in front of Squirrel. Would you like to just talk about this another time, or have time to think about this? I
You
just
get
want to
a
let you know
slow
about.
nod.
Okay. No rush. Again, it's just something that I realized that I really liked when he did the fire kiss and felt a little bit of sparks there. But yeah, I'll be honest, I felt a lot of stuff when you kissed me before. So yeah, it was different. But yeah, we'll put that for later then. I just want to at least let you know about it, so it won't surprise you later. Do you need some water before we get to 3?
Just go ahead.
Okay. Well, for 3, so I know that you and the team don't really, get along completely right now because you don't understand each other. I don't think they know the things you're doing, and you really don't really interact or talk to them too much either. I want to try to help that if that's okay. I want your permission, and I want to say right away, the stuff with you, anything to do with you and Vane won't happen unless you want to. I won't step in on that. You can be acquaintances, which just means basically kind of like friends, but not too deep. You just kind of know each other and you tolerate each other's presence, whatever that word means. I looked it up, and you're just kind of friendly, but you don't really know each other too well. You just kind of are, friendly to each other when you're around each other. Then you two can be friends in your own pace. But I want to help you understand the other team, like Scruff or Paz and Wade, or any of my other friends that you may not know, just to kind of help you introduce you. But at any time, you can, leave. You're not gonna be held down or anything, or stuck in a room or something. You could leave anytime you want. But I would like to try to help you, be friends with them, if that's okay with you. Your permission.
I guess so.
Okay. Okay, good. I just really want, you to be able to be friends with my friends. Maybe help you, grow your circle more. I guess the last thing is this one I was kind of worried about telling you the most because I don't want you to take it the wrong way because I really, really liked that hug a lot. And I don't want you to be worried about it. So, and Chomper's kind of looking down, getting more blushy. I really liked how strong your hug was. A lot. It was just maybe a little too tight. Kind of, push the rib a little bit. If you could hug a little lighter, a little softer, like a little percentage down, I will meet me halfway. I'll meet you halfway, and I'll get stronger. And I want your big hugs later. But for now, I just a little less tight on the hugs, for my sake and anybody else you hug.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, good. All right. Well, in that case, yeah, great. Oh, dang it. I guess I'm gonna add another one. I'm sorry. Would you be okay with hugging now? Trying it again? It's a little lighter.
Squirrel is going to open his arms.
Oh, Chomper's gonna go in for a hug. They aren't really putting any pressure or anything. They're just kind of hugging.
Okay, I'm gonna go now. Bye. And he is rushing out of the room.
Oh, that's part of course for Squirrel, I guess. Out of character, can you give me any kind of feedback on what Squirrel's even feeling?
Overloaded?
Yeah.
I kind of don't know how. I mean, I was pretty clear on that.
What was the word?
Overloaded?
Ah.
You threw so many things at him in just a short period here.
All of the things.
Yeah.
Several of them big.
3 of the 4 were very, very big things.
On the plus side, you got through all the things.
He
You
did.
did.
Yeah.
Squirrel's just gonna go hide on a rooftop somewhere for a few hours to days.
Fair enough.
And I guess the chestnut is being left behind him.
I guess so. Just fell out of some pocket of his cape that he'd long forgotten about.
Probably. considering the chestnut card was played
Stand on
during
it.
that.
So, what is Chopper doing now?
Jumper kind of Squirrel just ran off, so Jumper's kind of just left there.
Well, he kind of got yes confirmation. Kind of.
Jumper just does like a sigh, and at least like is happy that he at least got confirmation on the first one. Nothing on the second one. Third one got permission, and the fourth one was just, honestly, at least accepting, still hugging. So, Chomper just kind of sighs. Yeah, guess I'll just give him some time. He just needs a break, I guess. And I guess I'll go and get back with the team for now. He must want to be alone if he ran away like that. And I don't want to chase him and force him. Jumper's saying all this out loud as he's kind of giving himself a breather and fighting back any kind of feels of, abandonment and stuff like that. Being worried that, things going bad. Okay. Well, at least I got to tell him. It seemed like he doesn't hate me. So, that's a W.
Alright, so where were you having this conversation again?
This was in a private quarters.
So
Was
it's
it-
in Darklight's room? Or somewhere else?
I assume Team Darklight's room.
Okay. Because if it was inside the school, then if you'd stepped outside of the classroom, you might have seen Gregor waving a tiny little flag. He does not have other methods of non-intrusive cheering.
Cute.
I like the thought that he just has that on him by default.
Yes.
Yeah, he just has that.
He likes being around.
Fair enough.
Air quotes, someone gave that to him, so this is to give him a non-yelling option. A lot of people are doing their best, and when he passes by someone doing their best, the thing to do is not yell. But like, silent encouragement. Wave, 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 wave.
I guess if Chomper sees that, it gives him a wave back. Chomper's gonna go
No,
in their notes and
if
write
he was in
something
Team
down.
Darklight's room, then like, it's fine. So, I suppose we best scene swap to someone else, unless Squirrel is going somewhere in particular.
Nope, just random roof out of the way. Probably going to be spending time reading and somewhat collecting his thoughts. Because he does have his textbooks now,
Oh.
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
He's got 5 different books. He's got 5.
Chomper goes through his notes and marks off. Tell Chomper, are we boyfriends? How you feel? Tell about Farion and Bear? Question mark. What was his name? 3,
Lilac.
ask Squirrel if he's okay with trying to be friends with his friends. And then 4, tell Squirrel the hug was too tight. He kept it at 4. Thank God. And also, lucky for all of you, because that could have went a lot longer. Also, he makes a note. Try to condense and go easier on Squirrel. He seems overwhelmed. And Squirrel's gonna be making their way back to, I guess, unless they saw where Squirrel went, probably where Team Chaos is at.
Alright.
Oh, well,
Then-
real quick, before we do switch scenes, Just because I want to share it a little bit more. Maki did a thing for me today. And at least
Okay.
Raharu and Ninja would recognize him. Possibly.
Oh,
It's a nice little piece.
isn't that wrist form?
Yes.
Haven't seen him in a while.
Yeah, it's World Otter Day, or International, whatever. It's Otter Day. And so Maki was like, he needed an otter to draw, and I'm like, well, there's Risforn.
Ah, wrist form.
He did his best. He was just very misunderstood.
That seems to happen fairly frequently.
You're not wrong.
but he was a good character, yes. He and Magna had good times.
I remember that. I remember that time Elamin testified against him.
Yeah, I brought that up. I was sharing a few stories about him before game today.
Ah,
Alrighty then.
The chat seems very torn on whether Risforn did the right thing or not. Tabletop veterans sided with him. Others were like, oh god.
It is what it is.
yeah.
Sometimes it do be like that.
Well, you know, you want to keep a caster from casting, you take a hand. As well as gag them. And even that won't stop all the spells, but most of the worst ones.
True enough, I suppose.
Yes, unless you have a very strict, like, anti-magic handcuff, then you do what you gotta do.
Yeah, which we did not have that. But it's also a world where, you know, you throw some gold at a temple and you get the hand put back, so...
Yeah, you need to trust him first.
Exactly. Anyways, we could go to the next scene. I just wanted to give Maki another quick shout out for this amazing art.
Understandable.
Yeah.
Go check him out, everybody. He streams as well.
I do.
You do.
I'm getting a few commissions from him. He's
Well,
great.
That was for the rest of the chat.
Thumbs up.
Raharu endorsed.
Oh. Whom shall we go to next? We have Pyro, Wade, and Scruff, or Vane and Kaza?
Pyro's with
I
Vane
can
and
dance on the head of a
Kaza,
pin as well.
Oh, right, that's right.
And apparently
Yes,
another
so
person
Wade-
chestnuts.
Oh my
Wade,
goodness.
Scruff, and Team Snacker together at the moment.
Yeah, and then it's Pyro, Bane, and Kaza.
Yep, because the team leaders are all over in Hamoa because of the situation.
That's right. So, any volunteers?
We
Yeah.
left off with Scruff and Wade, so I wouldn't mind if we went over to Vane and Pyro and Kaza.
All right. The
Yeah,
leadership trio.
The
Go
leader-
forth.
The leadership summit.
All right. Well, in that case, I guess what's the situation that they teleport into?
Well,
Because they're teleporting over. So
Yes, there is a bit of tension lurking over the guild hall as most people there seem slightly on edge.
He hasn't even done anything yet.
Pyro do an insight on them?
Of course. Of course he may.
Oh, I need to get the command for the session.
That might help.
Uh, the heck?
We are hearing your Discord bloops there, Enja.
Weird.
Or at least I'm assuming they're coming
rolled?
from Enja.
I think they are. I'm just honestly like kind
Pretty
of.
sure that's CG.
I'm just kind of used to it.
I
Oh, there we
understand
go.
that, but the quality of the stream.
Yeah. Oh, I was just saying I'm kind of used to it. So like I literally didn't even like
Register
check
it
to
as
see
a
who it
thing,
was or
yeah.
like notice it. I was just like,
There. That ought to fix that. I'm just suddenly very popular explicitly when I'm doing things now.
Sounds about right.
Maybe you should put yourself into not disturb. That way you won't get notifications like that.
Okay. Now, Pyro's roll. Alright. It's not your team, but they all seem to be occasionally glancing towards the hallway.
The hallway?
Yes. Because there are sections of the guild hall that you know of that are not allowable to non-staff.
Pyro's gonna take a look over there.
You have been down there a few times actually, since most guild halls are the same. There is a downstairs section towards the guild halls that is the detainment center, and no teams are allowed there. So
Oh.
it seems that someone else that is not a team is probably there. Maybe even a few someones.
Oh boy. He's gonna ask one of the people what's kind of going on.
They're going to say that a some special members of the guild have come over to engage with their newest acquisition.
He's gonna go back to over to Vane and Kaza. Yeah. Seems like this whole situation of ours kind of has gotten a bit of a public reaction.
Well, interesting, but also it's not really too much of their business, so.
Yeah, I guess. I just wonder how it became such a big deal all of a sudden. Apparently,
Probably
according...
because
Oh.
Probably because it involves a guild member attempting to murder other guild members.
True, and according to one of the people over there, there's some special people here, apparently.
Probably
didn't
that
know
special team that Tyranio mentioned. Or maybe not like a team, but the group of people that Tyranio mentioned.
That's probably it.
Are we allowed to go there now? We did get permission, right?
We are supposed to go there, but I guess it wouldn't hurt to check in with the front desk to let them know that we're here, so that way they don't get confused why a random group of 3 Pokemon are just trying to walk back there all of a sudden.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea.
And if they want to meet us
Yeah.
out here, then they can just meet us out here instead of sending us back, but they're probably going to have us go back anyway because this isn't exactly something that the guild likely wants too public. Otherwise, they would have
Yeah.
already announced things.
Especially with how kind of nudges his head or to the crowd. Especially with the reaction it's already gathered.
So Kaza will approach the front desk and mention that the leaders of Team Chaos and Team Darklight are here. We were told we could speak with the specialists. They're going to acknowledge his words, but don't seem entirely keen on the idea. But orders from the top are somewhat tying their hands, so that they will say that as of this moment, the basement is unlocked. So if they wish to proceed, by all means. You were expected.
Well, if they're expecting us. Veda's just gonna leave it at that and just start like heading towards the area.
Yep.
He'd
Pyro
gotten the
will
go-ahead
follow.
and got told that they were expected, so, yep, there he goes. He isn't gonna waste time just, like, talking to the front desk more.
Yep. Pyro, you've never been down here, but as opposed to the smooth wood and thin carpet that accompanies most of the guild, this is a very sudden, hard and flat and gray stone.
Oh boy.
Pyro will just take note of it.
With a
Kind of
stairway leading downwards.
Kind of expecting it because it's a basement sort of setting.
Mm-hmm.
Just to double check, this is the same area that, like, you know, Vane and Squirrel were before, like, taking them down to the cell, right? Or is this a
Yes.
different area? Okay. I just wanted to double check that there wasn't, like... Because that's what I was expecting, but I just wanted to make sure.
Yes, this is the section of the guild where teams are not allowed. There is lighting, and it goes underground for maybe 30 feet before going to a new floor. They want distance very clearly. Along with this following area, the cages have no windows, or rather the cells, if you could call them that politely.
Whoa.
And you can only tell that it is a cell because there is a steel door with no opening. As basically the side of the wall with the cells on it is all metal. Every bit of it.
How big do the cells actually look inside? Or does he think they would be?
Well, unused rooms do have the open doors, so you can peer inside, and you could probably comfortably fit a Tropius inside of one. They are large.
Ooh, Tropius. I like that Pokemon.
It's a good Pokemon.
It is. Well, I mean, you know, it's not, but design-wise, it's a good Pokemon.
Yeah.
Stat-wise,
be
it's
used.
kind of garbage.
Untrue.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
Dragon, really.
True.
I mean, at least it's usable in the mystery dungeon games, since there's no stat cap, or hard stats rather.
There is no hard stats now. You can make anyone viable.
So are we being, like, escorted, or is it just Vane basically going, alright, here's where we took him before?
Yeah, no, it is just Fane leading the way. You were allowed there, but you were not given an escort. But it isn't hard to find your specialists, because there is one door open with voices coming out of it.
Well, Vane's going to be heading in that direction.
Yep. And Demir is restrained, babbling something that doesn't really seem to form into words, as there is a Dragapult, a Gligar, and a Chestnut that seem to be standing around him. The Dragapult in particular seems to have a notepad. And pauses as they notice you three in the doorway.
I was about to say Vane would effectively do like the polite knock on the open door.
They will nod. The Chestnut will flick Demir on the forehead, rendering him unconscious before undoing the bindings. As they acknowledge your presence, but will not speak inside the cell.
Probably for the best, because Vane would have been very confused as to why the hell they were talking to them with Demir right there.
Undoing the bindings, stepping outside, and closing the door, they will assess each of you and say, so, Pyro, Vane, and Kaza, yes?
That would be us, yes.
Yep.
So, it seems that you went quite far with Demir. Not that it doesn't have our approval, but it does make information gathering tenuous afterwards.
Probably right away, but nothing that we did should require overly extensive recuperation.
No, mentally.
Mentally, I don't know if we did that or if he was just already like that. I mean, I wasn't there at the start of it, but, he did try and kill people with a knife, so that doesn't really speak much to his mental acuity.
Fair enough. We have pieced together some information that corroborates with what we do know so far. Though, at request of the new guild master, who seems to think quite favorably of you and your abilities, we are the team that is in charge of internal affairs when it comes to religious matters.
The guild has an internal division dedicated to religious matters.
Dealing with people inside the guild that do have certain affinities or beliefs. We can't stop everyone just because they happen to follow a certain belief. It would go against former policy. But
So you're talking about things like Yveltal worshippers.
that is correct. You can be slightly more comfortable here. Sorry, we're just used to dancing around the issue. Any worshipper is put under additional scrutiny upon joining the guild, and once they act out or do something, we come in.
Well, we were informed that you likely had some important information for us. Or at least further information about the situation where we could then make a determination about how to transport him to Gullykin.
The interesting thing is the marked change in behavior that occurred one day, very suddenly, with a strong belief that he was a chosen one by Cresselia. And he knows that it was indeed Cresselia. This much is most assuredly very certain. However, that's when the health problems began. He has been notedly sleeping in excess, almost out of desperation. However, there seems to have been something taken away from him, and he has become desperate. Exceptionally desperate. But we have ways of substituting it, which made him all the more, well, it made him pliable at all. One hypnosis later, and a Muna to edit the dreams, and he was oh so very happy to speak with us. However, some things that he said were slightly incomprehensible, mostly referring to his partner and the sudden apparent deviation in the plan for your friend over there, Kaza.
They mentioned what this deviation was.
Sudden bolstering of will, if that is what is meant to be believed. Apparently, Cresselia is very unhappy that he, in particular, making decisions. Any decision, actually.
Would it be... Could we move part of this discussion to be in more of a room setting instead of a large hallway?
Of course. We'll continue this in one of the meeting rooms.
Mostly because at this point, Vane's like, "Yep, this needs to be private, like private with the
Maximum
veil
privacy
put on.
allowable.
Yeah, like actual privacy now."
Understandable.
Yeah, but it does seem that they've actually extracted good information.
Yes,
Indeed.
they have. Smart using the Muna.
Well, after they identified his state of mind and who he belonged to, they seem to have procedures for this.
Yep. Now, unethical is all hell, technically speaking, but smart.
And so they followed you back to a meeting room. Or they will lead you to a meeting room. And with the door firmly closed behind them and asking for a guild member to stand outside and prevent any attempts at eavesdropping, they proceed.
Yep. To note that once all that has been confirmed, Vane will just go ahead and throw up a veil.
All possible security.
Yep. With Vane basically just explaining it like, this is a bit of a privacy ability that was taught to me. Currently, even if they particularly wanted to, deities such as Cresselia would be unable to see or hear us right now. It'll only last a short time, but it should be enough to have a meeting.
Understandable. We're beginning to understand the favoritism. So, what else did you wish to know?
Well, I guess first of all, I should elaborate slightly on the situation with Cresselia in regards to Kaza. Which is, and again, we'd prefer that this be kept as private as possible. Cresselia was actively putting a compulsion on CL.
Then that would explain why, supposedly, after the plan was to scare him back into a state of helplessness. And supposedly, then someone else would be coming to pick him up.
Any
No
clues
confirmation on who, but that does mean that theoretically there is going to be an additional agent at some point in the future that may attempt to recruit him. But given present company, we're not particularly worried.
I mean, considering that currently speaking, the only person Kaza would be liable to run off with is already in the room.
Yep.
Not too worried about that one.
That and Godly Sight seems to be limited based on their domain. Cresselia can only interact with people upon sleeping, or if she's in range to psychically interact.
Makes sense.
As for Demir, he actually seems weaker than he was beforehand, as some of his abilities seem to have been, let's say, allocated toward the knife he no longer seems to possess any longer. And without it, his combat abilities are more limited than ever before. He was always intended to be disposable, it seems.
Oof.
But he doesn't realize this. Don't pity. Don't cry for the stupid. You'll be weeping all day.
Did she?
Oh, they don't give a shit about Demir. They don't give a shit.
Oh no. I was just laughing because now I'm thinking about Hellsinger Bridge again.
Yes. But now Kaza will ask if Demir was always such a bad person, to which they will say that, well, according to reports, he was always a bit of a waste of space, and now he's just a fanatic. So no love lost here.
I guess then
A middle-aged, fairly cowardly TIE rogue that lived, technically.
I guess then is there any unusual things you found?
His health was,
Besides,
quite frankly, rather terrible, as it seems that he had been deliberately making himself unhealthy. His body would require rest, ergo more sleep.
You're cutting up a little bit there.
I'll repeat. Well, his health was miserable, actually. It seems that he had been deliberately making himself unhealthy so that his body would require additional rest, leading to more sleep. Though, then he overslept, leading to headaches and reduced ability. His original objective was to handle
what?
and handle Zevran and deliver him to a church.
Speaking of, Zevran likely has, well, I'm not going to say likely. Zevran has received mental manipulation by Cresselia.
Not unsurprising, but discouraging. She rarely does so. She is rarely so hands-on. But that does mean that in particular she covets that one.
Yes, well, it should be fairly obvious, but he is a chosen, which was previously known as human Pokemon. But according to some people we've talked to, the gods were trying to alter the memories of various chosen. Luckily or unluckily, depending on how you look at it, our entire group has void parasites instead, which meant that we didn't have memories to manipulate at the time.
Really? The Dragapult starts paging through their notepad to find something else, and they're like, yes. The Void Parasite. And entity unknown, origin, the Void. Acquisition of this parasite leads to very limited ability to interact with someone directly in a mental fashion in the forms of retrieving memories or implanting new ones. Such attempts to implant new memories would summarily cause them to vanish, and as they were not, in fact, genuine foundational memories, it is theorized that they were just consumed in their entirety.
So these void parasite things can actually, if memories were inserted, the void parasite would just eat them right away?
Yes. That is the case.
Speaking of, just quick aside, Pyra, please tell me you're actually dealing with your void parasite actively.
I'm trying, it's just... Right now there's a bit of a... I don't know really what to go after next.
Okay, well, we could talk about that later, but I don't want a void version of you popping out, and then we have to deal with that too.
Yeah.
Granted, I do know a little bit of what to do, it's just, I'd rather not. Either way, when it comes to the Demir situation, it is a bit of a tricky situation, but he is, at the very least, an attempted murderer, and there is a rather angry Gyarados that specifically wants to see him. Whether or not she'll actually kill him, I don't know.
We're
On one
finding
hand,
it fairly likely, but we understand the uncertainty.
yes. I just don't want to say that she'll definitely kill him when I don't know if she'll actually definitely kill him or not. Now, on one hand, there is the fact that we'd be appeasing a very angry Gyarados, but I'm not sure how much the guild cares about the optics of handing over a guild member to a non-guild member for what might equate to an execution.
We will be handing it over to the Gyarados, but should you wish to accompany, but we would ask that you accompany and supervise the execution, as we have we have engaged with the Gyarados and ask that she go a respectable distance away from the harbor before enacting.
I see. Yeah, considering what this guy did to the Magikarp, yeah.
The new guild master is less concerned with appearance and more on action. We will be taking a more hands-on approach as more policies are reviewed and re-implemented.
Well, please keep us updated as to any changing policies,
Well,
or at least provide a good public forum in order to see what they are, because I don't exactly want to be breaking policy out of ignorance just because they happen to have changed.
Well, the one that is currently under review that he is pushing forward is dual membership. Members of the guild are now going to be allowed to be part of other organizations as well, and other organizations are allowed to submit people into the guild. However, should they be acting for their organization, they will have to confirm with the guild on whether or not that they can use the guild's name for these actions.
So basically, when not specifically on guild business, they can't go throwing around the guild's name.
That is
without
correct.
approval. That's a good stipulation to have. So, is there going to be any sort of, because you've been around him and likely have had him assessed, is there likely to be any sort of health complications along the way if we do take Demir by tourist transport, for example? I don't know what his physical state is, and you did mention that he was intentionally making himself extremely unhealthy.
He is inebriated and may have to be given a very light diet, as the only potential dangers are him choking upon his own vomit.
So basically, keep him on his side.
We would recommend this.
So, like, out of character, are we playing Pokemon Mystery Dungeon still?
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
After this, we will return to our regularly scheduled programming.
Oh, okay, just checking. I like tuned in for a second. I started hearing somebody choking on their own vomit, execution of prisoner, and all that. I'm like, holy crap, what are we playing anymore?
We're playing. We have caught an attempted murderer, so Guild does not find them useful and is like, yeah, just have the Gyarados deal with them to calm down the Gyarados.
Execute him.
Now, Kalti might have done things differently, but he's not the leader anymore.
Now the guild is literally being led by a demon.
I can feel that.
Which is the most hilarious thing, because now we literally have a demon for a guild master.
I mean, they've always had the anti-religious squad, but now it's being headed by an actual demon.
Yes, and we literally have a demon in charge of the guild, and he's just like, an attempted murderer? If he can be rehabilitated, do that. Otherwise, fucking kill him.
I'll also point out that the original Pokemon Mystery Dungeon had you as a character being hunted down for execution.
Yeah, that is true.
So,
Pokemon Mystery Dungeon is very familiar with executions.
yeah.
Yes, it is.
Like, also, as a reminder, like in other Pokemon Mystery Dungeons as well, they'll literally just like take away all your rations and have you starve as a punishment. Like,
Pokemon Mystery Dungeon
for
does
all
not
intents
hold
and
back.
purposes-
they don't
So for
play.
all intents and purposes, this is not even that out of pocket. It's just that in the first one, you weren't even a criminal. They just thought that you were the reason that the world was in danger.
Indeed.
So basically, they tried to like witch trial burn you.
Indeed. That's basically what it was.
Yep. But
And then your name was cleared.
Yeah, that your name gets clear. But yeah, Vane will just go. Okay, so he's not likely to have additional complications along the way, so long as we take even the most minor of precautions. Now, just to double check, Esther will be patient enough to wait for a Tauros transport to show up, right?
We can push it. We can negotiate more time, but we have agreed to this much. She will wait potentially 4 more days before we estimate that her patience will wear thin.
Okay. I did already request that she be given word that we are showing up and bringing Demir to her actively, because we were a part of, Team Chaos did make contact with her and get her to agree to move to Gullykin away from the bridge. So we do have at least something of a rapport.
Very well then.
Out of just prudence for things that I already know we're likely going to have to deal with, should there be additional religious-related matters when it comes to, guild personnel or actions that are likely to be taken, like, let's say, this other agent that you said is likely to show up at some point, how would we best get in contact with you if you are the dedicated team for those sorts of matters?
If you could submit a complaint form and in the subject of interest put in a religious matter, it will be forwarded to us. Or a matter of faith. Both are applicable. Now, I believe that this may be Vane's first hearing of a complaint form.
No, because he got told by the original Sigmund about it, and also talked with the other Vane who put in a bunch of complaint forms.
Oh yes, that's right.
Because the other one put in I even have a note of it. 23 complaint forms. 24, because they also put in a complaint form about the whole the clerk going, "You're an auditor." So he put in 24 complaint forms, and he did share with the actual Lost in Chaos Vane about it.
Pardon, I just forgotten. If that was not just something that we discussed on the side for other Vane.
Yeah, no, this one knows about it. He just hasn't really taken the opportunity to interact with the system yet, because he's been focused on a lot of personal projects and stuff like that. So, and when I say personal projects, I mean trying to be, like a decent boyfriend.
Yeah.
But to Vane, that is an entire like personal project that he is devoting a non-insignificant amount of time to.
Well, the chestnut might volunteer something after this that upon the resolution of this incident, that their section is going to start being very busy, as formerly it seems that the Hamoa branch in particular had come under some or that the former branch manager for the Hamoa branch had also gotten under the influence of Cresselia. So by order of the new guildmaster, their section is going to be very busy combing through every single guild hall across the world.
Oh.
Out of game, you could see the zoom in on Vane as mentions the old guildmaster here was a Cresselia cultist. Of just internally, I am going to.
You're going to what?
I am going to kill them.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because, he does not have a high opinion of the Hamoan guild, branch manager, much less for the whole, allowing all that to happen to Kaza. So hearing that he's a Cresselia cultist.
Oh, not Cresselia cultist, merely under her influence.
Oh, okay.
So he was also given ideas, like CL apparently.
Okay. In that case, undo that, because I thought that was
No, yeah, fair enough.
because under her influence is kind of yeah. Okay, so if they meant a compulsion, then cool, that's different.
Yes.
We'll never know how close he came to death.
To be fair, Vane still wants him kicked out of his job.
Oh yes, no, that's why they said former.
Yeah. If the guy isn't in his position anymore, Vane doesn't care as much.
But yes, they're going to be very, very busy soon.
Now, considering the as far as I can say, personal history between us and Demir, how would you? There is a non-zero possibility that he's going to say or claim things in anger that he might not have otherwise mentioned to you. How do you want me to pass along any sort of information that he might declare in anger or desperation or the like? Would you like me to do the same matter of faith complaint form thing for it in order to pass along information about it?
Yes, we will. We ask that you not forward it. We will come.
Uh-oh.
You're breaking up, did you?
Yeah.
Yep, you went. We asked that you not forward it, and then it cuts out.
The information in person.
Did you?
Did you?
You had a lengthy cutout there.
Yeah.
You basically went. We asked that you not forward it, and then it quickly cut after that. I think they were saying not to forward it because instead they will.
We are.
Oh,
I'm not sure he can hear us.
I think he may have a corridor.
Uh-oh. All right, I'm sending him a message.
Oh, dear.
There it is.
Fucking up.
All right, yep, he's leaving and rejoining anyway. Don't even have to.
I find it very entertaining that what came through clearly out of all of that was, oh dear.
Yeah.
Yeah. Welcome back, Digi.
Everything else unintelligent. Welcome back.
Yeah, so you started cutting out after you said, we ask that you not forward it. We will, and then, it cuts out.
We will be coming to visit and collect that information in person, until we are sure that we are as secure as we should be. Air quotes, it might not be just the guild branches that they're combing through for additional scrutiny. They're going to go through their entire force.
Okay, so in that case, I should put down on a complaint form a matter of faith and additional details in person or something like that.
That will be just fine.
And I guess if we somehow come across any other activity, we should do the same.
By all means. Do you have any additional questions?
Is there some sort of checkout process that you would like us to follow when we return in order to actually get Demir? Because right now it's just the team leaders. The rest of our teams are not currently in Hamoa. They're in a different town, but, you know, motions slightly towards Kaza. Thankfully, he's willing to move us back and forth a bit, but we aren't going to be taking him right this instant, so how would you prefer that we handle that? Do we just have permission to come back and grab him, or do we have to do some sort of checkout process?
We'll give you access to transport the criminal, and when you are ready, you will need to verify your identities one last time. We'll also pay for the Tauros in advance. He will then be restrained, and then he will be in your custody. Apart
Out of
from that,
caution,
no additional formalities are needed.
out of caution, I'll handle this personally. You don't have to put in a request with him or anything. I'm likely going to ask Sigmund to come with in order to assess him for any additional information that we can get out of him. He is rather knowledgeable about a lot of different things, including energy analysis and the like, so that and memories. So if there's any additional information to be had, he's likely to get it, and I can at least ask him. Now, I do know that
Fair
we're
enough.
supposed to keep this under wraps as possible, but I do just want to inform you that I'm going to try and involve at least one doctor.
That is acceptable.
In that case, that's all of the questions that I have.
Noted. May your attempt be fruitful. Over the course of this conversation, Kaza has relaxed a bit as he is now just identified as two different sets of Vayne interacting with each other.
I mean, this was a very smooth interaction.
Query.
Like, oh, it's just like Vayne talking to himself, I'd imagine. Like they talk a lot like him, actually. Be right back for a moment.
Alright.
Yeah, that was literally just, here is information. Okay, here is my thoughts on this information. Here is information in return.
Vane has found his people.
So I guess while Digi is away, there is one small thing I could do. Pyro's gonna ask the two of them. So who's this Zevran person?
Zevran is another chosen who showed up a little bit earlier, month and change earlier. Probably close to 2 months by now. Anyway, he is a male Kangaskhan kid, which doesn't really happen, so that's a pretty clear sign that he's some form of chosen. But he also kind of has memory issues. And when I say memory issues, I don't just mean his prior memories have been messed with. I mean, he has active trouble paying attention and remembering things actively. As in, he could not remember my name nor my team's name a couple of minutes after me introducing myself.
And I'm guessing Cresselia has done something to him then?
A fair amount of memory modification, as well as messed with his head, like in terms of like an energy sense.
Lovely.
I noticed there was some weird things going on and had Sigmund confirm it.
Remind me, was Kaza there for the assessment?
The Zevran assessment? No, because he was in Hamoa for the thing, and then they rushed over because, oh, where's Kaza? Kaza's in Hamoa. Where was this guy last? Hamoa. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
So Kaza was not there for the actual, assessment of Zevran. It was literally just Vane and Sigmund.
Then he's going to be a little like worried as he hears this.
They will just go. Now, Sigmund is looking after him actively over this. But she apparently did the mental equivalent of trying to create her own makeshift void parasite in his head.
Why?
In order to falsify memories, so that way. Basically, she wanted to manipulate the situation even more. So she recreated and reverse engineered the effects of a void parasite and did whatever it took in order to create as close of an approximation of one as she could inside of his head. She didn't do a very good job, though, or maybe she did this on purpose, but he does not have even short-term memory very much.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's bad. That sounds like she damaged his mind too.
At the very least, temporarily. Hopefully not permanently.
I hope it gets better soon.
We can always check in with Sigmund about it. It was a unique enough situation that Sigmund was personally interested, if that says anything about what the inside of his head looked like. Apparently she tried to show up in front of him in a dream, and he bit her.
Well, she deserved it.
Wait, Zevran bit Cresselia?
In a dream, yes. She manifested in one of his dreams in order to try and do something, and he just instinctively bit her.
Huh.
This is according to
Okay.
Sigmund.
Wow. Okay. I guess then she stopped trying to do that.
Very likely, yes.
That's honestly kind of funny.
It at least shows that Zevran has decent instincts.
I hope once he recovers that we can talk.
We can definitely try and occasionally check in with him, see how he's doing. I mean, Sigmund is trying to do things related to his recovery anyway, so we'll likely be seeing him at least once or twice while he's actively recovering.
Sounds. Then I guess I shouldn't worry too much. He'll be fine.
I mean, I guess it's fine to be worried about him. It wasn't exactly a good situation. I'm just saying that we can always just ask Sigmund about it, so.
Yeah. So then I guess we'll go get everyone else?
Well, I did want to talk to you two about something after this meeting here was done.
Oh, okay. I guess that's everything. Unless you have more questions. Ow! Oh, that does. I do want to ask something actually. Excuse me. How do you know when to check a place for god stuff? The specialists are going to be a little silent at that very direct question. Before looking at each other and nodding slightly, and they'll say, well, normally we wouldn't say this, but it seems that you're going to have a lot of interactions with the gods sooner rather than later, as they are going to pull out a vial. It looks to be a vial of dark colored blood. This is our first warning that there is something deific around. What is that? This is a small portion of the current Guildmaster's blood. He has been supplying it to us for a very long time, and when we are approaching something that the gods have even passive influence on, it starts to boil.
How do you avoid the... Are there any potential false positives for high concentration of fairy type energy?
Surprisingly, no. It is very specific to astral. However, it has gone through a refinement process. That, and we can't just pull as much out as we want. He does also require his own blood.
That's true, but if at all possible,
And it does not boil more on proximity. It is more an on or off thing. So we can't really play hot and cold with it.
if at all possible, can I get access to the specifics of how this works in just like a written format. I find myself in a rather unique situation where my shadow is effectively a baby demon, so I might have a way to also additionally supply something of the kind.
Yes, we can do that. And the Dragapult will start writing something down on their memo before ripping it off and handing it over to Vane.
What does it say on it?
That they are aware of their guildmaster's true nature, so it does seem that demonic energy is exceptionally reactive. However, it has to be kept in a very careful stasis format, to which it is constantly in sensory mode. Because if it is not in sensory mode, it will attempt to fight the astral energy and potentially expend itself. And that this refinement process was done by technically a non-guild member by the name of Marten.
Oh, I could talk to Marten about it. That's good.
As it seems that she is the one that has done the refinement process.
Vane will say that out loud, by the way.
They will be a bit surprised that he knows about her. As that is potentially also not common knowledge. But we'll just nod and assume it was culty. Boy, it's very bad at keeping his secrets.
Best part is, this time, legitimately not even his fault, really. Partially, it's just not really.
A lot of things aren't culty's fault, kind of. But this time, no, it was not.
Anyways, do you mind? Because apparently, Pyro here wants to have a bit of a conversation with us. I think that's all of our questions about the situation done. We know how to get in contact with you in the future. You can very easily get in contact with us. So, do you mind if we keep this meeting room for a little bit longer? Just for personal use for a second?
They will nod and rise to leave the room. Their business is concluded, and it seems that they won't have much interactions with the mirror any longer.
And, I guess once they leave the room, Pyro will be like, so I want to talk to you about possibly doing a joint mission to recover or rescue my friend Alex.
A joint mission?
Yeah. Or at least a bit of an alliance until we rescue him.
Okay, so I guess important question about this. What's like I understand why you would want this, but what's the benefit for us?
Well, I'm gonna be honest, I haven't really thought of that far, but I guess one of the things that's on Atra is apparently a culty clone that even Sigmund's a little concerned about if they get into a certain situation. But I guess if in terms of benefit, uh I bet Alex could help create something that could at least make us unaffected by paradoxes.
Unaffected by paradoxes.
Well, and
Okay, follow-up question. If he can make something that would render us immune to paradoxes, why aren't there approximately 20,000 of us running around trying to solve things by now?
probably because of his situation. Plus, it's not really his area of expertise, but
So you're saying that after 71,528 timelines, he's never once done this?
maybe. Well, he may have once. I don't quite know, but apparently, when I got those memories back from the crystal, apparently I was able to force part of a core memory out of the void parasite's grasp. It got really strange.
The crystal.
Yeah. What was inside the piece of the core memory I managed to basically break off was
Oh, right, the line 0 one.
uh basically a recording of me meeting someone who basically knew about this Nergande. It said something about too fast. You know where to find me. It was very vague.
Okay, as interesting as that is, I still don't see how this leads to capable of rendering immune to paradoxes.
Well, for one, the Alex of my timeline would have been maybe not there in that moment, but there could have still been some minor paradoxes created from them going there.
So why hasn't there been any instance of someone avoiding the paradox issue?
That I can't really answer. Time stuff gets complicated quick.
I'm not saying that it's not possible, because anchor points exist and the like, and we're already aware of at least one version of me that is in an anchor point actively right now. But my point does still remain where if it was this available, wouldn't it already be, we're kind of deep into this. 71,528. That's the timeline we're on.
Well, I don't know if this is the case for his every emergence, but according to the original Sigmund, he's on Etra, which is basically an archipelago of floating islands.
I'm aware of what Etra is. They're going to call me slurs there if we go.
And apparently he also said that soon, if we don't get there, probably like within a few months, he's gonna end up in like a hostage situation. With people from a religious group.
Okay, again, I'm getting a lot of why you care about this, which I understand, but...
Gimund, buddy, this is so painful.
It's literally just Vane trying to ask, hey, what's in it for us?
So, when does Chomper get there?
Well, we're currently at a place where Chomper kind of can't get to.
We're in a Hamo Guild Hall. You are in Domovoy.
Ah.
You're in wrong city, unfortunately.
Yeah, all of us are away from there, so none of us can go and save Pyro from himself.
Even Edge isn't there. Oh no.
Oh right, Edge was still in the bedroom, wasn't he?
Wasn't.
Yes, he got left.
So he was present for Chomper's whole thing with Squirrel.
Yeah, he was probably floating around.
Remember, he's been bound up and put under the ghost seal tag, so he was probably just pretending to be an inanimate object. Like, oh no, honk shoe, I'm definitely asleep.
I'm sorry, I just need to remind chat. Pyro is the face of his party.
Yeah, he's not great at it.
We noticed.
He's the leader of it, at the least.
Yeah.
No, he's still the face of it. Because otherwise, it's...
Is going to make a suggestion. Well, why don't you make it a mission?
Pyro's just gonna, like, turn to Kaza for a minute. After fumbling about.
Occasionally there are requests if someone else wants to see what a higher rank dungeon is like. Just put up a reward and we will take the mission. we'll also that way it can be added to our reputation of escorted or ventured with you to Etre on guild business.
Yeah. That's probably how I should have gone about it.
Because again, I understand why you care about this. It's just we need a reason to care about it too. We do have quite the amount of other problems going on currently.
I managed to, I guess I will, post it as a mission. And I already talked to Squirrel about it, and he's okay with this whole, joint thing.
Hey, you're the team leader.
Yeah.
So why are you bringing up if Squirrel's okay with it or not? We don't need to know that. We just need to know if it's what your team is doing.
Yeah. I'm still trying to figure out this talking thing a bit more.
You've had years.
Arthur's going to gently put a hand on Vane's back.
I mean, it is still Vane.
To be entirely fair, during those 4 years, he was apparently being led around by Edge.
He was very deliberately kind of keeping him in the dark because he wanted Pyro to enjoy his adventure a while longer.
Yep. No, but this is still Vane. He's just like...
No, understandable.
But yeah, I guess I should tell you about this culty clone now. If you are going to accept the mission.
Well, we need to know about him anyway, because I'm going to be attempting to fix Culty, and he's kind of multiple stages of messed up due to the whole making all of these clones and siphoning off parts of his soul to do it.
Oh. This one actually might be worse than Culty in terms of mental state.
Oh no.
Considering that they are all originally some version of Culty and have since deviated. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Alright. So, this Culty clone is named Argent, and unlike other Culty clones apparently, they don't have time powers. Instead, they kind of have something else, and it's kind of why Sigmund is concerned if they get to a certain point with these their power, and that this power is that they can sacrifice their own memories for power.
Oh. That's horrible.
That's still at least tangentially time related.
I guess it is. It's just not affecting time itself. And apparently, they kind of started a war with the Wilders there. I don't know the entire reason behind that one, but It is something to watch out for.
I mean, I don't really know the reason either, but also, I mean, they're wilders. It's literally, culturally, they are cannibals.
Hmm. And I guess earlier you kind of asked if I was keeping up with my void parasite. Right now I have hit sort of a block, but there is something I got kind of recently, and that is Apollo. Something we could encounter on our way to there.
This I actually know a little bit about just because of the other timeline.
Yeah.
Because apparently they were
So-
actively working on whatever. They were actively working on it over there.
Oh.
I mean, how else did you
So-
think the other me knew things about it?
Yeah, it's the other you on the third module that kind of is the thing I'm going to get to. But I have a feeling I should explain Apollo from the beginning. Looking towards Kaza.
Oh no.
Oh, okay.
Is that actually out of character? Is that actually a good idea?
Out of character? No, obviously it's not. Why are you asking this?
In character, it is Pyro.
I don't know the implications of Vane or others knowing about Apollo. I just know that we're gonna be here for a while Pyro stumbles around trying to explain it.
Yeah. Which
No
is also
offense.
which is also partially why Vane is just going to go, Pyro, are you really sure that you want to try explaining the entire Apollo situation right now?
Maybe I'll just stick to Noir.
That'd probably be a lot faster, yes.
So then, Noir is the third module of Apollo, who was intended to be the self-repair module before they became a Pokemon. And apparently parts of apparently the self-repair module kind of became a part of their abilities. So they are a Metagross who is basically trying to drive themselves insane. Because they've been around a while. Because they just keep getting healed by the self-repair module.
Okay. I'm just gonna say that, yes, that's the short of it. Why do you care about, why are you bringing this up? You have to have a reason that you're bringing this up.
Because it's something we could encounter on our way there. and I don't exactly we don't exactly know how they will react because of the state they are in if we were to encounter them.
You have any reason to believe that they are currently on Etra?
No, I'm just bringing it up as a general possibility.
Then why are we're supposed to be having a discussion about, generally speaking, the Etra situation? Why are you bringing this up right now?
To keep us informed of future goings?
Yeah.
Kaza is here to bail Pyro out.
That's his heart. He's trying.
I mean, I assume that Apollo would be a useful ally going forward.
Part of
When
Apollo is Bien. We already have part of Apollo as a useful ally.
This is true. But if he were stronger, he might have other abilities.
So I do want to be kept apprised of things like this, but can we keep it to the actual discussion that was at hand?
Yeah.
So let us know when you actually put in the mission request.
Got it. No, I should probably do that now.
We are at a guild hall. Well, we're gonna have to transport Zevran, so I guess me and Kaza can go back to Domovoy and start gathering everyone up, because this is gonna be our next few days.
So I guess then, what would be good compensation then for you guys?
Okay.
I was about to say you could just offer us Pokey, or like a certain cut of whatever we find, just something to make it actually worth it and seem like, we're getting paid for it, because I mean, I guess the best way to put it is it's not a perfect example, but this is effectively a moment where you're trying to buy mercenary services.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, just give us some form of payment, even if it's just, really non-specific and vague and effectively to be figured out later.
Yeah, that'll probably be the route I go.
Alrighty then.
So, I guess there is one more thing. I don't exactly know which island Alex is on. So...
I mean, it's an entire archipelago in the sky, I mean.
Yeah, I really wish there was a way I could narrow it down, but I don't really know any ideas for that.
Ask Samantha.
Oh, the Luxray in the library?
Yeah, she used to be a wilder.
That's actually yeah, I'll go do that.
As Pyro then realizes, wait,
We have someone that was probably from Etre.
Yeah. All right.
So in other
Plan of
words, Chomper got off really nice with the
Oh no.
whole situation, because she could have just eaten him.
Yes.
That is correct.
that is true.
And she was cross enough to. In the moment.
And then Pyro's gonna go like, okay. First
She
off,
could have eaten his face instead of breaking.
You're breaking up a little bit, did you? But we did understand you.
I was saying that she could have just eaten his face instead of breaking it.
okay. Plan of action. First, make the mission request. Then second, head over to the library.
Which it's currently in Lulite, isn't it?
Yep. But Pyro
The
can
library
tell-
is in Lulite, which is next to Hamoa, with a very short Tauros ride.
Yeah, but Pyro could teleport.
Can he?
True. It's
He can
just that,
just go there.
yeah, Kaza's right there. It's just that
Oh, you're
Pyro was
talking
also
about-
so
okay.
forgetful that I think
no.
he'd forget that Kaza can do that.
No, I mean Pyro.
Yeah,
Pyro
quite,
teleported away. He literally teleported across continents one time. He has
Oh,
teleport.
That's
that
right.
He can
That
just
must-
go there.
Whole
Wait.
thing.
Okay,
of him
hold up,
being an
hold up.
Eden.
Gimund,
Wasn't that with Noah?
did you actually pick up Primeval Teleport?
No, I did not. That was something I was planning on later. And plus, he's gonna say, I just used the guild teleport on the hat.
Yes.
How did you
the
do a
experiment-
guild teleport from inside of the room where we were standing, where there was no teleporter or anything?
Oh,
He's-
that one was Noah, I think.
Yeah, that one was Noah.
Because remember that he is forgetful and does not have a note card for don't teleport inside the library. So Gimund got fried.
Wait,
Yeah.
then how did Pyro do the thing where he was in blue light before?
He was already in Lulite, and then
No, but then how did he get over to the Plagoa?
Because I will remind you that the guild teleport is an experimental feature for emergencies because they're still stress testing and ironing out all the works before saying like, yes, we're 100% sure that this will cause no problems whatsoever. They're only 90% sure that this will work and that we'll have no complications whatsoever.
I'm just confused how he was there to look at Vayne, like, mysteriously in
He
Lulite
wasn't a
before,
member
then
yet.
get over to Plagoa before the whole Noah thing got into.
That
Well, he
was
wasn't part
influence.
of the game yet at that point.
That was just influence.
Though now I think that we're going to have to find some way to make it lore.
So that was an influence. I see.
Okay, 'cause I was
quite
like, wait,
simple.
how was
Greaves
he-
did it. Greaves causes all influence.
Uh-huh. Well, now we need to find a way to actually work it in.
Greaves is part of the lore here.
Fair enough. He walked into Greaves' tent and to try and do some shopping and ended up somewhere else, and Greaves did not apologize.
So, where is the library right now?
Blue light.
I think I'm gonna need some help getting there. But first, a mission request. And Pyro is...
There is a farm here. Maybe there's some crops being moved from the Hamoa farms. You could probably hitch a ride on one of those. Might take an hour or two though.
Can't you teleport though?
Okay.
Also, can you please teleport me to Lulite?
I can do that. Thank you for asking. I'll save us all a little bit of time. As Kaza will offer his hand to Vane and Pyro.
And Vane will take it.
And then Pyro's gonna be like, "Oh, I can just submit the mission request in the Lulite Guild Hall." So, and then he'll grab onto Kaza's hand.
All right. He will take them to Lulite first to drop Pyro off before going and taking Vane and himself to Domavoid to pick up the rest of the team.
Woohoo!
Now, over to Wade and Scruff. The session might be a little bit of a long one.
Thumbs up.
I believe Wade was attempting to encourage Scruff to write a journal or start writing a journal, and realised that Scruff's writing looks incomprehensible.
Yeah, Scruff writes in three runes or whatever those are called.
Twig runes, yeah.
Twig runes.
Twig runes.
Now, I would like a perception check, Wade.
Oh. His body instincts perception good.
Yes.
Ooh, nice.
Yes, that's very good. You're not sure when, but someone has snuck a book next to you.
Wade blinks. He looks at the book. Huh? What is this?
It seems fairly unremarkable, as it doesn't even seem to have a title.
Wade is going to pick up the book, and he's just going to inspect both covers. for a moment. The cover and the backside, rather.
You might have heard about this book. It looks kind of like the one that Paz heard about that Kalti gave to Kaza. A journal, kind of.
Wait is going to raise an eyebrow. How did Wayne is going to rub his chin for a moment. Hey Scrub, I think I'm going to go out for a bit, if you don't mind.
All right.
Okay. So let me think on this for a moment.
If it helps, they are divided into days.
No, I'm actually thinking about where Wade is heading right now, because he is trying to go to a private to trying to think of some sort of private location where
No one's in no one's in the team room right now.
Yeah, that's the thing. He doesn't want to go to the train room because he doesn't want like the team members suddenly teleporting there.
Well, he could ask for a meeting room to himself, or he could rent the rage room.
Oh, that's actually not a bad idea. Wade is going to go ahead and ask for an hour for the rage room, or
I
two,
believe that's
rather.
10. I believe that's 10 poke if he only needs an hour, because the rage room is technically the poke is a more token gesture,
True.
as it is deliberately inexpensive so that it is always available to those in need.
Okay, then make that 20. I give
2
20
hours.
poke. Yeah, I give 20 poke to the receptionist, and I'm gonna go ahead into the rage room.
Yep. And the room is yours for 2 hours.
Okay. Wade is going to be sitting down and looking at this at that book for a moment. Okay. So this book just suddenly appear in front of me. Unless some sort of ghost is playing a prank on me. And if this is something that I think it is, then there's only one thing that could have actually happened logically. Eh. And does that mean that someone wants me to read it? Where is saying this to himself?
Curiously, the book is a little chilly, actually.
Chilly, as in cold to the touch.
Yes, it doesn't last for long, though.
Ah. Wade is going to narrow his eyes and just give a bit of a sigh as he proceeds to open the book, and he's just going to find. He's going to scroll through it until he finds until he finds the latest page that hasn't been written on, and then go back to the last page that has been written on.
Alrighty. It is recording events every 2 hours.
Recording
So
events
a
every.
good portion of today is available in multiple different sections as it has started to include Pyro and Edge as individual sections.
Wade is going to tilt his head as he looks at this. What information is written about Pyro? Actually,
His meeting with Tyranio. And information gained there. And for Kaza and Vane, the section is almost the same. With slight alterations from their perspectives.
Wade is going to blink
as it seems that during the meeting that Kaza was passively fuming about something that he was deliberately putting out of his mind.
Wade is going to blink as he looks
And
at
Maine
this.
was just making notes of slight approval over the new policy.
Wade is going to blink as he looks at this, and he's just going to say, "Okay, clearly not an ordinary dojo, considering that something has been written on it that's not that has occurred. It is written from people's point of view instead of just whoever is writing it, and it's also been written with. It's also been written while the ones that should be writing on it it's away at the moment. What the heck is this? Where did you found this culty? Okay, Wade is going to go backwards and just look through the pages of these days.
Any that he is looking forward, or any that he's looking for in particular.
Something about what Kaza was upset about, actually.
All right, then earlier today he was visiting his family.
Okay, that's something that was something that Scruff mentioned.
Towards the end of that, there was an interaction with Chomper that started on a bad note. Chomper may not have been aware of this, however.
Wade blinks and gets a bit of a sigh. That this thing is not being specific of it, right? It's just being general.
No. It does go for point, but I'm just summarizing for expedience sake.
Oh, that's fair. So it is being somewhat specific.
It is. In that the conversation is recorded.
Oh, so it's like written verbatim.
It is in full detail.
way this is just looking this over and just giving a bit of a sigh. Oh dear.
But repeatedly during that conversation, Kaza is saying that he promised. He promised. Just smile. You promised. Just.
It seems that Kaza once again it's just keeping his own issues to himself. I suppose those habits. I suppose all habits die hard, even if it's still pretty young. Hmm.
Do you remember the conversation, or should I go over it again?
I remember most of it, yes, but
Got it.
yeah. Hmm. I might have to try and see if I can mediate something here. Although it might be kind of precarious, but still. Hmm.
Bless you.
Alright.
Bless you. Hmm. Actually, now that Wade is thinking about it, he's going to go to the first to the first page of the book to see what exactly is written there.
Ah, very early on.
Mm-hmm.
You are seeing things from back when you were still in Himoa. Like day 4, maybe.
Technically before Wade even woke up.
Yes.
The interesting thing is also that remember that Veda's been going in and blacking out random sections of everyone's if he doesn't think that they're that important, but also doing that so that way, he
His
doesn't get caught.
Yeah.
So there's just a bunch of stuff with blacked out.
Occasionally.
Every now and then, some random spot of non-interest will just be blacked out.
Like redacted, blacked out.
So is it like in black marker or something?
The equivalency, yeah.
Yeah. Could you give me a quick example by any chance?
No, I mean, like, he'll literally just black out sections of it. Like, obviously he blacked out the section where he killed someone, but, like, overall he just, like, will occasionally go in and black out a random section. He makes sure not to black out any actual important information that isn't, like, obviously related to him killing people.
Yep.
So, like, in terms of, like, a specific, example, not really, but that's also just because, well,
if
it's
someone
specifically
is like
non-specific
admiring the weather, I look up a whole 3 sentences are blacked out.
What was that?
Or they might otherwise be just commenting on the observations of the weather.
Ah.
Yeah, so important stuff has been blacked out, but also to hide what was other stuff has all blacked out.
Yeah, I get it. So Wade is going to notice the black holes and just raise an eyebrow at this. That's curious. Hmm. Why would stuff like this just get blacked out here and there? Hmm. Wade is going to like quickly just skim through the pages to see if to see if he can find like any big section that's blacked out.
Occasionally, there's a big section that got blacked out. It's not too often though. The interesting one for him might just be being able to, like, you know, depending on how well he's paying attention. You know, the suspected like the Demir and all them dyed vein section is missing there, but I don't know if he'd instantly cotton onto that.
Wait, what was that one?
Like out of game, obviously the one where Vane killed, not Demir. Sorry, Jaeger and his team.
Jaeger. Yeah, of course, yeah. Wade is looking for those places where there's like a big section blacked out, and then he's looking immediately at whatever words are preceding it and whatever words are after. Whatever information is preceding and whatever information is after, to see what day that was.
I think that was like day 9.
Yes.
So we technically didn't do anything on that day. The only real important thing that happened was Vane killing Jaeger and his team. I mean, that's literally it.
So yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's just that, yeah, on that particular day, the entire team did nothing. But there's just one big, very big, important, very secret event that happened that day.
Yep. But there is.
Wade is going to just look at that and just. He's looking at the information preceding it and the information going forward, and trying to make a timetable in his head of when this happened. Should I be making a roll for this?
Probably like investigation or lore or something.
Yeah. Lore, probably.
I can make lore.
Oh, that was just me throwing stuff out.
Yeah.
Well, lore makes sense because it's more him recalling what happened on those days.
Or recall with the information that has been given to him, rather.
Mm-hmm. I'd accept either investigation or lore, with a bonus if you use logic, or an additional dice if you use logic.
Yeah.
Also, Mango. Yes, he did.
Okay, I'm going my logic lore, then. Which is unfortunately not a lot of dice, but yeah. Let's see. Oh, well, let me roll that one. Ooh.
Hey.
Okay, that's 4, and I'm going to figure those 6s to make it 6. That is actually a pretty decent roll for the amount of dice that I have. No,
Yes, it is.
It is.
you are able to put together an acceptable timeline, because it does seem that Vane has been paying special attention to this team.
Well, Wade doesn't know that it's Bane that has been blacking this out. But
No.
Nope.
In
No,
that he
because
has,
Vane was doing surveillance.
no, right, you're right.
he was scoping them out and understanding their routine before the eventful day happened.
Wade is just going to close his eyes and give a very long sigh. I was really hoping that this wasn't the case. God damn it. This isn't exactly admissible evidence, but admissible evidence in any sort of court, considering that this is some sort of magic journal. But oh boy, this is. Well, at least I have something to go off of in this regard. Hmm. Hmm. You know, now that I think about it, with seeing how meticulous Bane is with this specific team and the events preceding it, that now Wade is pretty much sure that Bane was the one that did it. But now that he has it, but even if but now that he has established that, he's going to look through this journal to see if there's any other moments where Bane was particularly meticulous when it comes to observing somebody else.
If it's gone over recent-ish events and included the meeting, Vane was taking extremely special note of all of the things with Demir.
Yes, that information is also present along with the meeting with Zevran, in which that they pretty much confirmed that no, he doesn't know a single damn thing. Not really.
Who doesn't know a single damn team? Severin?
Zevran, due to the
Yeah.
memory issues.
Yeah. Wade is going to nod and give a bit of a sigh as he closes the book. Of course he's paying special attention to that individual. I mean, that individual has several marks on his head. I don't imagine he's going to be surviving the end of the day or the end of the week. Whatever it is, he's on borrowed time. Wade's just going to shake his head. This is troubling. Very, very troubling. Okay. Wade is finally going to... Wade is finally going to leave the rage room. Well, actually, before he does that, Wade is going to summon his weapon and he's going to, like, slash at something real quick.
Fair
Then
enough.
Then he's going to leave.
Hey, look, my man needed to get his money's worth.
Yeah.
You might as well take a little advantage. Anything in particular, or just the most expensive vase in the room?
The most expensive base in the room.
Understandable. It shatters in a very pleasant fashion.
And I better keep this out of the, and I better keep this summon for a bit. I think I'm going to need it. Wade is going to close the book, and he's going to leave. And he's going to be heading back to the room.
Okay.
Yeah. And actually, Wade is trying to find if there is any location that it looks like something is missing.
I don't believe so.
Eh. Hmm. Could I do a physical investigation check to see if I can find wherever this book was supposed to be before it was jacked out of its place? Because of course
Yes,
this
you
book
may.
is Kaza's.
Well, he doesn't really leave things here. It might have actually just been slid out of his wonder bag.
Ah, then that's a problem because Kaza's wonder bag is probably with Kaza.
I hope it is.
Yeah. Unless Kaza leaves his wonder bag in the room.
No, because you might not remember his wonder bag is sewn into the band around his tail.
Ah, yeah, I actually
Oh.
did not. I actually did not remember that.
That's
Okay, then this. Okay, then this is a problem. Yeah, since there is no place, there is no place to put this thing to put this thing on where it wouldn't be freaking suspicious to freaking suspicious. When is just going to put the book inside of his wonder bag?
Fair.
Okay. Wade is going to go back to the mess hall and ask for something else to eat because he's freaking hungry now. Even he's more hungry than he was before.
Fair.
Gruff looks on approvingly.
He and Team Snack Attack are still eating.
He and Team Snack Attack are still eating, and Scruff is discussing what he remembers of the recipe that they helped to discover.
Oh.
Nice.
Yeah, do you remember he had a memory moment, and they back the void parasite, and at the same time he remembered how to bake specific food.
Ooh.
And Team Snack Attack were like, hell yeah, we'll fight Shadow Monsters with recipes. That sounds like a win.
They're just cool like that. They're just cool. If it has something to do with food, all right, you have our attention.
Yeah.
Wade is going to be listening in on this conversation if it's involving a recipe.
Yeah. Scruff is describing making bread with various nuts and berries. They don't seem to have any. If you're listening in, doesn't have any specifics on them. It just tends to be whatever he happened to find whilst out. Foraging?
Uh, Rob, you're cutting out. You're cutting out for a little
Ow.
bit. Yeah, you're kind of you're kind of sounding. It's like every word is every other word is cutting out.
I'm sorry, Zim. I shall have to turn off. Has been doing this lately.
Turn off what?
Crisp.
The thing that absolutely has a higher chance of stopping my keyboard from making noises. From where was it cutting out?
All of it, honestly.
Like the whole thing.
Fuck. Okay, so Scruff has been talking. He's been relaying the recipe, the bread recipe to Team Snack Attack. If Wade is listening in, then he'll be able to tell when Scruff is talking about. He's describing all the ingredients he put into it. The normal stuff for bread, mostly sort of, flour and yeast and water, and occasionally the recipe seems to change every time he's done it. So he's described putting in, little knobbly nuts and little round nuts and occasionally seeds and also different types of berries. It seems to have been whatever Scruff could scrounge at the time went into the bread. Also mentions putting sap into it.
Putting what into it?
Sap.
They're interested in what kind of sap.
Scruff will take out the flowers. Effectively, whilst they were in the forest on Hooper Day, they asked permission of the trees, and they gave their permission for him to take some sap from them. He dumped out his water canteen and filled it with sap. Zero hesitation. He's an ice type. He could technically just like powder snow something and then drink the ice. He's gonna snuffle a bit and just go, well, this stuff's sweet. This. I remember this being quite tasty, but it's not quite right. Like, this is already, if I leave it out, it starts to harden. Stuff I used to put in, it would stay, like, it would stay drippy even in the cold. Don't quite taste right either. Scruff trails off a little bit. Eyeing the sap and then very carefully, pouring out a measure into the cap of his flask and handing it over, or passing it around. Team Snack Attack and by extension Wade.
That is a lot of different ways to make bread.
Well, it's all the same. It's all the same way to make bread. It's like making stew. You just put in it what you have at the time, don't you? The sap always goes into it though. That kept it all squishy.
Yeah. Maybe we could try out making this thing sometime.
Scruff is going to pause for a moment and continue on the squishy. And it's like, even if I kept it for cycles, the bread was always like moist and squishy. It was very nice. That was good sap. Hey, we should try and make that at some point.
Wade is going to nod at that.
Yeah. The Scruff has passed some to Team Snack Attack for their opinions.
Indeed, you there?
Sorry, yes? Are they making, or are they going to try and improv recipe? Or the Scruff recipe from memory, rather?
Scruff is trying to recall the recipe from memory, but he's also just handed a water cap full of sap to Team Snack Attack for their opinions.
Alright. You remember what tree you got this from?
No.
It was
Yeah.
just one of the Everbloom forest trees that he got permission from.
One of the ones that
Alright.
looked similar, so a cold weather tree.
Alright.
Though he notes that the leaves are the wrong color, and this sap is already starts to harden once it's out of once it's been left outside in room temperature for a bit. And the one that he remembers remained dribbly even in the extreme cold.
Alright. Now I have time to roll something myself. Go. Lucky, lucky. That was indeed a maple tree.
Hooray!
Hey!
I was very ready for it to be pine.
Honestly, I was as well. Which would have just added even more to the funny that Scruff was just casually drinking it.
Yes.
Like, this is
It's like, literally how? Do you drink pine sap regularly?
Well, luckily it's maple sap, so we don't have to have that conversation.
We don't have to have that conversation yet.
Yes.
Yet.
So yes, they say that this could be workable. Maple sap, while a little rough when it's just raw straight from the tree, can be used.
Sorry, can you repeat that a moment? Sorry. I missed what you said there, did you?
Maple
Did come
sap,
through,
while
yeah.
a little rough when directly straight from the tree, can still be used.
Wait, what do you mean? What do you mean by rough? I mean it's tree sap. Then you get it from the tree.
Well, yeah, but you could like cook it a little.
Well, you cook it when you put it in the bread dough, and it goes in the oven.
Have you never had syrup before?
What? I don't know what that word means.
They'll exchange looks and nod slowly. And then explain that the sap can be boiled down to concentrate the sugars, making a syrup.
Well, I don't know about getting it so close to fire. I remember doing that once. I dropped a bit and the fire.
Oh no! You boil it in
went
a
up like
pot.
nobody's business.
You don't just put it in fire.
Well, not intentionally.
The pot is over the fire, and it protects the maple sap, but it lets it heat up.
Is that what this is? Maple sap? Maple.
Yeah.
Huh.
From a maple tree.
Wow.
I don't think I've. Okay, maybe we did have some of those trees. This still feels like the wrong one, but I'm glad we found something that works.
They're going to nod slowly and understand that they have a lot to teach Scruff about cooking.
Hey, there's hope for him. Apparently, he just threw these ingredients together and made something tasty.
Indeed.
Yes. How very fortunate of him, really. I mean, do it enough times and eventually you have to succeed.
Indeed.
That's usually how we found out what was edible.
Yeah.
Kind of how
Sheer
Chomper
trial
works.
and error. Would Chomper like to arrive at this time?
Was just about to say.
I totally forgot about Chomper at this point. Should have just said Chomper took a teleport, I guess. Jesus. I think we're ending in 30 minutes.
Are we?
Yeah,
Yeah.
almost
Well,
10.
at the moment, we're all talking about food. So
Everybody kind of. We have like scenes where like everybody separately it takes a long time.
Especially when they're all a bit lengthy. But I'm going to go for as long as we are allowed.
I think 10's a good time.
Okay.
Chomper's kind of on the way, but all the scenes are kind of done, so I'm not really sure what Chomper would do. I'd say he just kind of runs at anybody who's currently active in a scene at the moment.
I mean,
Well,
he can come and join in the food talk.
yeah, but I was about to say.
And Vane and Kaza are arriving again.
Scruff has an idea for an activity. Depending on who you want to join.
Well, just confirm Squirrel's on a roof somewhere, right?
Yep.
Go Squirrel and his roof. Alright, well, I don't think Chomper would be able to find him. It'd be kind of a stretch of the imagination, I suppose. Unless Dad would dare to see him on the roof somewhere while they're walking.
No.
Is what it is. Oh, I guess Chomper continues on and finds his team at the location they would be at.
Yes, he would.
Jumper, we're at the mess hall of the gear hall. That is Jumper's natural habitat. Just go there.
Yes, it is Domovoy in the mess hall where people are eating.
There was the smell of food.
Well, we'll say Chomper's drawn to the food and kind of sees the commotion going on. And approaches. Hey, what is going on over here?
We're
We
talking
found
about
tasty stuff.
Oh.
yeah. They're talking about food.
Oh, is that you, Wade?
Yes.
Hey, are you joining in for the foods?
I am part of this conversation. Yes, or at least I'm listening more or less.
What's going on?
And they're talking about mostly about syrups, saps, and ways to make bread.
Oh, there is a lot of ways to make bread, but a lot of them you probably shouldn't do.
This guy doesn't know about maple syrup. He's just been using.
He's been using what?
You cut off, did you?
Yeah, you could have towards the end.
Maple syrup.
Gasp. We are going to need to show you all of the awesome syrups out there. You'd be surprised how many things can be syrups and be milk. I did not know that many things can be milk.
Scruff slides the water cap again with some sap in it towards Chomper. I harvested this. This one's quite nice, actually.
Oh? Okay, what was that again? Before I describe it?
That was maple sap. Not the refined syrup, that was maple sap, the original.
Okay, that's kind of sweet, but it doesn't feel the texture's a bit. That's wood. It's kind of chewy. I like it, but I don't think a lot of people would like this. They probably want this more refined. 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 Yes. Usually mixing it a little bit more, but yeah, you got some good stuff here. It's got to mix up more.
Oh, I would also say the table has got some bits and pieces on it. It still has Scruff's attempt at writing on it. Which is a page that appears to have a lot of twigs and mess drawn on it.
I see you've been drawing there. Nice.
Oh, you were writing? This lot don't seem to understand it, though.
It seems that Scruff Scruff in his role has his own writing system. Even if we can understand each other, we certainly did not write the same stuff.
Scruff dialect. Oh, is the other squad's there too? By the way, out of character. Correct.
Team Snack Attack. Yeah.
Team Snack Attack is right there, and they're happy to see Chomp as fellow foodie.
You! Chomper points at them like Spider-Man. Aren't you the Attack Snacks? Attack Snack? Snack Attacks?
Hey, we've heard about you. You're Chestnut Man.
What? I didn't know that I had a title. Huh.
Chestnut Man.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
You want to see why they call me Chestnut Man? Are there any chestnuts around here?
I'm sorry, Chomper. That sounds like one of those Batman side villains, like Condiment Man.
I was about to say yes.
I know what heels are, and I am okay being called Chestnut Man. That's kind of cool. Chestnut Chomper. Chomping chestnuts.
Chomping chestnuts. I like it.
I kind of like chestnuts. I want to use them more in my dishes. I feel like it it gets a bad rep. It has a hard outer shell. It's really spiky. People think it's dangerous. It causes bleeding and internally bleeding and stuff like that, and that's not nice. But I think it could be really good food. I want to actually make more chestnut stuff.
Dougie nods and looks over to Dalton, checking if he has chestnuts. The answer is we have 3. What happened to the rest of them? He's going to look at Dougie as if wondering why he even asked, and he just nods. All right, fair enough.
Respect. All right, hand me over one of those over here. And Jumper reaches out their talon, their little claw.
They're going to produce the chestnut, but it still does have its shell on it.
Good.
Because they are going to say that one of the things that they can do is actually just toss it into a fire that's dying out and let it roast inside its own shell. And the outside is very brittle and can break off pretty easy, actually.
Oh yeah, that's actually the way you're supposed to do it. I kind of like treating them like, well, here, check this out. And Chomper's going to get one. And if you want me to roll, I'll roll for this. But Chomper's going to toss it into their maw, catch it with their teeth, and crack it by biting down on it.
Ooh.
Oh. Okay. I would like an athletics check, followed by an integrity check.
Oh boy.
Because if you're doing it that way, at least half of the shell is going into your mouth with some force.
Fair enough. Fair enough. You said athletics and integrity? Oh boy.
Integrity. Yes, athletics followed integrity.
So no bringing this up to Vane then. Got it.
What is he doing?
I just
Wait,
explained it.
Team Snack Attack is just going to nod over at Vade and say he is demonstrating passion.
I want to say, if I get this again, I've done this before with Chomper, and he successfully did it twice now, so it's almost like a little
now,
parlor trick at this point.
Yes, however, an alligator doesn't, like, carefully crack something. They snap down.
Yeah.
With this particular thing, after being told that bloody mouth is so bad, Chomper is trying to crack it like a sunflower seed between their teeth on the side.
In that case...
Sorry if I wasn't clear about that.
Yeah, no, you were not clear.
Chomper wasn't clear, but out of character, Chomper is actually showing he has developed a safe way to crack it open without the fire, using his jaw strength and keeping the seed on his teeth and cracking it like a sunflower seed.
I now understand what you were doing. And with 10 successes, yes, you can, in fact, exert a very fine, specific amount of force without pricking yourself.
Shoot, maybe I should have did out of character for the squirrel scene, too. It would have probably made more sense. Dang, Chomper speak! Anyway. Alright, so. Cracks the thing. And I don't know how many successes that was. I'm just curious. I didn't even count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Haha, lucky number 9. Let's go. Alright. You said Chomper successfully did that? Yee?
Yes.
Chomper will
is applauding with Shadow Claw.
Wade is also applauding as much as
Also,
he can.
it is successes, I believe, not 9.
Oh. Okay, thanks. Chomper cracks the shell, and carefully, these shells, with the spiky part, they put aside, Although they do make a comment like, it is actually funner to crush those. I'm not going to lie. It's really fun to kind of just, yeah. But I'm told that it's not good to, bleed from your mouth a little bit. It does heal really fast for me after you burn it, but they're probably right, yeah. But yes, check this out.
Internal bleeding is not usually a good thing, no.
None of us
Normally,
can
it's best for
none of us
mouthfeel
can
if the majority of your mouth isn't scar tissue.
None of us can heal you with fire, though. I suppose I could blow freezing cold down your throat, but that also might not be good for you.
I try it. Sounds icy.
Let me put it this way, Chomper. If you get internal bleeding enough in your mouth, you're going to get a lot of scar tissue in there, and then you won't be able to taste.
Oh, I don't like that. I like hot sauces and really, spicy, bitter, different flavors, but I do not want to not taste. Anyway, here, check this out. And Chomper's going to crunch up the chestnut, take a plate nearby, put it down. All right, now try putting some of the syrup. And does anybody have any, like, a pancake or a waffle or anything?
What's that? Oh, that's the... No, hang on a second. That's the thing that what's his face? The Lycan Rock made for us.
Yeah.
I ate loads of those. Those are good.
Actually, you know what? No, actually, give me some of that bread. Chomper gets some random bread from the side, puts it down, puts the chestnut on it, and offers it. Now try that. You can put some of the syrup on it, and it tastes pretty good. I want to make more chestnut bread. It's even better when you bake it in, though, I'll be honest. But it doesn't taste that bad.
Scruff, in a show of absolute trust, takes the thing and just inhales it.
There's no shells, by the way. Just the chestnut.
I'd hope not. If there was, there would be the most sincere look of betrayal on his face. Because Scruff is just taking the entire thing into his mouth.
Make sure to chew. It is pretty nutty. I don't want you to choke.
Scruff gives another look that just translates to really.
Chomper is
Do
totally.
you remember who
clueless.
came second? Do you remember who came second in the eating competition?
Yes, Chomper does remember who came second. Toothy grin. Speaking of which, I don't know if did you say that out loud or was that just out of character?
That was implied in Scruff's look.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was about to say when they got something
That was
to
more-
shore
that was
that
more for-
memory.
That was more for context with the really look.
Reality.
So, does it taste good?
Mmm. It's good. Good.
Sorry, Team Snack Attack. I guess you ate it all, but I could try to make some more. I wonder if there's any more food stuff going on around here.
It is the canteen.
Probably.
We are in the
Hi.
canteen.
No, I mean I liked when we had that one competition. We used to eat all the food we could, and we got rewards for it. We got money and stuff for eating. That was great.
Oh yeah, we heard about that eating competition that happened in Hamoa a while ago.
Oh,
Couldn't really visit, kind of busy. We weren't really keeping up with local news. Were you there?
I actually, yeah, I was. Right? Was that the same one we went to? Looked at.
Well, it was
Waiting.
the harvest festival at Hamoa.
Well, I wasn't there, but I believe Paz was.
I as well.
That's right. Yeah, that's when we had the whole team together. But yeah, you did really good on that one, Scruff, I remember. And I actually won. Yeah. Yeah. Wish I could do that again.
Aye, that were well done.
It was one of my strengths, I guess. Definitely better at doing that than talking. Scratches the back of their head.
We're gonna raise his eyebrow at that. What do you mean by that?
Just been having a very long day of figuring out my feelings, but I think things went all right. That and I need to start checking up on everybody. I've been not hanging out with all of you that much, and we need to hang out more. That and what did I miss? How did I was gonna check with Fane and Kaza because they're gonna be asked by Pyro pretty soon about something important, a little team thing, joining together. Hopefully to help them with stuff. And I haven't checked on anything to do with the that thing that happened with the Gyarados, the kid.
I think they're off doing guild team
Leader
leadery stuff like that.
Yeah. From what I heard from Scruff, they were called to meet with the branch manager.
Oh. So we're going to meet up later and talk about it? Or just figure out what to do?
More than likely.
I assume so.
Unless it's supposed to be whatever is inside secret, they probably will tell us about it.
Oh, good. Okay. Well, just so you're in the loop, from what I'm hearing, it sounds like we might be teaming up with, Pyro and Squirrel pretty soon, and their team.
For what?
Eh?
It's gonna be the, believe, I'm gonna say the name wrong, Atlas? Totally wrong.
Atlas?
I don't remember what the name was, but out of character, yeah, that is well.
Yeah. Atlas?
Out of character, I think he's talking about the Etra continent.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is, but I am assuming in character Chomper actually said it wrong, so Wade is legitimately confused.
Well, I was
Isn't
saying
that
for Rob's sake.
Yeah.
Isn't that like a map? Like a map collection?
Atlas? What? Are you talking about an individual, a location?
Oh, it's something we're going to help Pyro with that he's going to be looking into. It actually sounds like it could be something that helps us too. I'm sure that once when Kaza and Vane hear about it, they'll tell us and we'll know what's going on.
Okay. Sounds good to me, I suppose.
Wait, thanks for the heads up.
Yeah, I'm sure it's going to work out either way. I definitely would like to do more, team stuff. But also, I think it could help our rank. I'm pretty sure. Don't see why not.
I will try not to stray too far away then.
Yes,
I'm
please.
on hand for a meeting.
That way you can know what's going on, and we won't have to find you. You're usually around even when you're not being seen, though. Somewhere.
People tend not to look up.
True. I suppose if I'm ever looking for you specifically, I should be looking up.
Oh, and Wade, good to see you. How you doing so far? Have you been? You had anything to eat? I think you don't actually get hungry yourself. Is the body full? Did you come in hungry?
I am full, but I suppose I ate a bit more than the body wanted. Not gonna lie, but I am pretty well fed.
Nice. Well, in that case, guess I'll wait till later. I think I might have overdid talking with Squirrel and said too many things. He's kind of doing his own thing. So Tomper's like talking to himself. Hey, Wade, do you think if it was possible? I know you just changed, so I'm not going to ask right now, but maybe tomorrow you could pass to Paz for a moment. I really need to talk with them.
Wade is gonna raise an eyebrow. For what, if you don't mind me asking?
I am really wanting to get them to be able to, well, talk to a friend. They seem to have a bit of a, well, bad time talking with someone, and well, between you and me, Paz is not really they don't really know how friends stuff works that well. They seem very focused on themselves, and that's okay. But they also get really focused on it so much that they don't really think about how people are feeling sometimes.
Wade is putting a position where he is like where he's resting his face on one of his hands, and he says, "I am not surprised."
So did Wade just catch the thing? The
There's
funny.
a non-zero chance.
Actually, no, I did not. What are you guys talking about?
Oh, Chomper just like almost verbatim repeated the line that Kaza was upset over.
Oh.
Actually, yeah, you're right. Wade is going to nod at that. Wade is going to kind of nod. He's looking kind of a bit annoyed, a bit bemused, but at the same time he's going to say, "Okay, yes, I will grant your request." But at the same time, I believe there's something that I need to do with you later myself, Chomper. If you wouldn't mind.
Oh, okay, sounds good to me. So, just I saw how you were thinking there. Keep in mind, I want you two to get along too. I really relate to how he thinks. A lot of times, I'm just worried about just making it. I know with me, I think about others a lot more than myself, and I need to maybe stop doing that as much. So I understand when he's very much focused on wanting just to make it out here with all the things going on,
Wade is going to just nod up and down for a moment. Whatever you say, Jumper.
Well, either way, I want to go do something right now with you. So let's see. What do y'all want to do? Anything going on right now here? Seem to be just eating.
I had a bit of an idea.
Do tell.
It might need the advice of Team Snack Attack here, but we could go out foraging and looking for food and supplies out and about. I know they grow mushrooms here, but there must be other things around. And it wouldn't take us too far out of the town.
I'm game.
If you look a little closer at Scuff, you might be able to tell something. He's extending this invitation, but he's kind of like antsily, like tippy-tapping his paws. You get the feeling that he would, if rejected, he would go off and do it himself anyway. He is inviting you along.
Is everybody else going to go for that too, I'm guessing?
Well, I don't know. That's why it's proposed idea.
Could you repeat the idea one more time, please?
Scruff, I'll say it without the trying to do his voice. Scruff is inviting everyone to come out with him to go foraging for food and ingredients in the local area. He knows that the town mostly grows mushrooms, but there must be other things around.
Okay. Oh yeah, Way would be pretty okay with doing that. That sounds that sounds like a good relaxing time.
And we could potentially argue to Vane later that it's useful survival information for gathering materials when the shops are unavailable.
Yes.
Well, I was able to find mushrooms and stuff before. I better find some more stuff that's good to eat. Actually, wait, Snack Attack, you know a lot of good stuff around here too. Don't you have pretty decent, good knowledge about things around here?
Yeah, we've been local for a while.
Yeah.
A lot of recipes use root vegetables and mushrooms.
Oh. I would love to hear more about things I can eat that are just around here we can pick up that aren't poison. And people won't get mad at me for
Well,
chewing on.
you don't got to worry about poisonous things around here. They've been pretty careful about that. So most of the mushrooms in the mushroom farms are good to go, but some of them have funny little quirks.
Oh, quirks. Like,
Like if you tap on one of them, they might glow.
ooh. That sounds cool.
Oh, the glow shrooms in that tunnel we found.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, like the glow shrooms.
Yeah.
We were in a cave, I saw a lot of those. Yeah, let's go check it out.
Yeah. Oh, there's also we're in a rocky area, so we might find rock salt, but I'm not sure. If you can't get salt from the big blue, then rock salt's quite good. GG?
Pardon, repeat?
Gruff suggesting that they might find some rock salt as well in the area, so there's a rocky terrain. He's unsure
That
though.
seems very plausible. But there is actually a place that's not too far away, all things considered, called Lamplight, Candlelight, that actually sells a lot of salt. It is a harbor town with a lot of fire types, actually.
Ooh.
So salt's pretty available around here, actually.
Did Dougie and Dalton bring that up?
They do.
Scruff will look at a tad almost shocked at that and say, wait, we're that close to the blue?
Well, with the Tauros wagons, we don't really have to be that close. They just trade it around.
I suppose that is a point, but I didn't think the blue were that close. All right.
Oh, you want to go check out the ocean someday? That'd be fun.
Scruff remains silent, but he looks both kind of nervous and excited at the same time. Not least for his experiences with the bath in the first couple of days of being here. For people that weren't there for Series 1, Scruff realized that he can't swim and does in fact sink like a stone in water. So on the one hand, lots of water equals danger, but also lots of water, that sounds like an adventure.
It's true.
And that do sound like adventurous. That's the word I was looking for. Not seen the blue in a very long time.
Well, as long as we're careful and you've got water types like Chomper and Paz or Wade, which one is it?
My name is Wade.
That's
Wade. Then if you happen to go overboard, they can grab you and swim back up because water types can swim and carry things when they're swimming.
Oh, that right. You did both save me in the lake that one time.
Wade is going to nod. We are pretty good at doing that. We wouldn't be water types otherwise.
Huh. I suppose I always forget something. Well, I forget a lot of things sometimes, to be honest. I forget a lot of things. I should probably not forget that, though. That sounds like useful survival information. Scruff is making a very firm mental note of, okay, this is need to know information. Remember this.
Could you rephrase the need to know information one more time?
Scruff is making a very firm mental note against his own memories, almost scoldingly, that the fact that Chomper and Paz can swim to that, and other water types can, in fact, to that level of skill is important. Need to know survival information and should be remembered.
Yeah.
Almost scolding his own memory for losing track of things so easily.
Yeah, fair enough. Wait is going to that. Okay, so should we go ahead and do this?
Sounds like a plan. I suppose we should check to make sure the others haven't returned already, and leave a note for them if they haven't.
True enough. Let's go ahead and do that.
Aye. Gruff is going to noisily clean the cap that he put the sap into, and then carefully screw it back together again. In the water flask. And then I say sit up, but he's literally a bean. He'll straighten up and look attentive on his spot on the table. Sounds like we have a plan of action.
Yeah.
And that might... How much time have we got there?
Probably not a lot.
We are past time for end.
Alright, so that's probably a spot to leave off then.
Yep. Next time,
On Dragon Ball Z.
The party's finally is heading to Gullykin.
Yep.
We're gonna have the next episode titled Gullykin for real this time.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it. Don't make jokes.
If we can just get the party in one room, that will happen. We'll see what happens.
That will be happening soon. Now that we've tied up pretty much everything else that would be stopping us from going.
And you wonder why Chomper threw 4 things at once. I want to be done with it so we can get together.
Except for the fact that
Gullykin.
now we've got half of the group about to go off into the wilderness.
Oh, just
Do that and die.
Just do it.
They were literally
do it
just
in the-
planning it. Go ahead, Rex.
You could just cut through that really fast. It's just a misadventure thing to do.
Yeah,
Whatever
honestly,
gets us- yeah.
honestly, I was just thinking that was just going to be some survival checks for us to find stuff.
Yeah, you don't have to like make it a whole thing. For the love of God, did you just put us together so we can start having scenes that just like have multiple people, not just like
Out of our goddamn misery.
Appearing to collect the rest of the party.
I will start like doing crazy shit that gets us all together. Like I will start pulling people into the same room if this keeps going on. I will find wherever Squirrel is on his roof. I will find wherever people are. I will find someone who teleports and get them to start instant transmissioning us everywhere. If Pyro doesn't learn it, somebody's gonna join our team that teleports and has a phone.
Pyro will be learning teleportation eventually. Just doesn't have it at the moment.
I mean, you technically do have it. It's more like blinking right now with his shadow sneak.
Technically, it's called teleshift right now.
Yeah, Eason gets it. That's how I feel about it. Party's been split for 2 seasons now. It's about if don't need to be all like hunky dory kumbaya, but get them all in the same room would be nice.
So welcome to Gullykin, day 45.
The last time that we were in the same room together, things did not end well.
Well, fix it.
The last time we were all in the same room together was the party.
Yeah, it was the party.
And things went really well. What do you mean?
Yeah.
Squirrel saw 2 people and ran away. That's the only thing that went bad, kinda, I guess. It went fine, but that's the only thing that happened with the split. Nothing catastrophic happened during that party.
Okay, I was thinking about the meeting after the whole reporting the twins. But yeah,
but
you're
that
right.
wasn't
The
last time
party
everyone was
wasn't
together.
that bad.
Gotta live in the present, sir. Let's start having some good moments now. Alright. Thank y'all, that was fun. I think it's time for the outro, I suppose. I don't know what we're doing
Yes.
after.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us today for Lost in Chaos Scar. Check out our website, zgfgaming.com. We've got links for our Discord, Telegram, Mastodon, Blue Sky, Patreon, and more. They are on the website as well as down in the description below through our link tree. Thank you to my patrons, tippers, and subscribers. It is your support that keeps this channel alive and going. I cannot do this without your guys' help and your support, so thank you. Consider becoming a patron over at patreon.com/zgfgaming. It's one of the best ways to support the channel, though you can also do so by sharing the stream around, grabbing packs of cards through stream loots, using our Humble Bundle partner link, or by grabbing some merch over at zgfgaming.store. But for now, thank you so very much for joining, everyone, and I bid you all the most fondest adieu.
Bye-bye.
Dudes.